Melinda Gates, co-founder of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, is also at the meeting. She is also the co-chair of the Pathways for Prosperity Commission. The group helps developing countries to harness new technology in ways that are inclusive to all, even the world's poorest. In a report, the commission says numbers about job losses due to automation are misleading. It says they ignore the upsides of technological progress in creating new economic opportunities. The report also says manufacturing isn't the only way to transform an economy. Countries need to be digital ready, meaning investing in digital infrastructure to enable and encourage innovation. Earlier, I spoke with Melinda Gates about the report.
We know that technology absolutely is benefiting everybody, but if we want to make sure that the societal gaps that exist today aren't furthered by technology, we have to put the right tools in place and the right regulations to make sure that cell phones are not only in the hands of everybody, but that everybody can reach the internet. Today in low-income countries, 3/4 of the world's population owns cell phones, but in low-income countries, only 12% of people connect to the internet. Part of that has to do with pricing. If you look at the price of the internet in a place like Madagascar, it's very cheap. But if you look at other countries in Africa, it's 2 times somebody's monthly wages. So we've got to get the pricing right, and we have to get the regulations right so that everybody has access to the cell phone, to the internet, and to a mobile wallet, quite frankly.
Absolutely. And we can get more people more connected and reap the economic benefits of that. But we've also seen the dark side of technology. Fake news campaigns in Myanmar, viral messages inciting violence in India. Is the answer education or regulation or something else, as more people come online?
Yeah, I think technology is just technology. And as you said, there is a downside to it and there's an upside to it. And so as a world, we have to make sure that we bring forward the upside and we minimize the downside. And so on the downside, yes, it takes regulation. We need to think very carefully about people's privacy. We need to think very carefully about how information is provided to them and how people know that the information that's coming their way is quality information. And so that takes good government practice and good regulations. And that's part of what we're talking about with this Pathways Commission and frankly also a UN high-level panel that I'm on about digital technology. How do we make sure everybody accesses it equally and that the quality is really there?
Now, technology can be empowering, but what about artificial intelligence? As AI continues to evolve, a number of jobs will be taken over by automation, manual labor work, factory jobs, etc. Is this a trend that can be stopped, or is this just inevitable?
Yeah, I think that with technology, we have this natural fear that that robots are going to take jobs away. And that's honestly been the conversation at the global level the last 18 months or 2 years. But what we saw with the studies we're doing with this Pathways Commission is, in fact, the converse is true. If you go back and you think about spreadsheets and the advent of spreadsheets, yes, spreadsheets, when they came out, took 400,000 jobs away from clerks, but they created 600,000 jobs for skilled accountants in the economy. And so with technology, it requires more skills, but we bolster the jobs that are there. I think today we can't even know yet what's going to come with technology 30 years in the future, both the data mining that we can do and with artificial intelligence. But we do know that if you put the right tools in the hands of people and you have a skilled workforce, that is, they have access to good health, good education, they will create the jobs of the future with digital technology. And I'm seeing it with all kinds of companies that are being born on the continent of Africa or here in Indonesia or in China or in India. So it makes me quite optimistic about where this can go.
Melinda Gates, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Kristie.